Thank you for joining us today in Archive 301.81a. I am Elder Obanesta. I am pleased to meet you. Here, you can explore some of the rare data we possess for the planet Terra. You can navigate this environment through the W, A, S, and D letters on your board of keys. I will happily elucidate any points of interest. You are currently walking through a manufacturing site. This was a place where textiles were produced. Our forebears, in their fleshy mold, were predisposed towards the climate and maintaining their own self-image. These humanoid figures are mannequins. They are a plastic simulacrum of the sapient form. In the time of our forebears, they were used as a lure. They were placed in the windows of mass consumption sites, bedecked in garments that aroused the attention of passers-by. The garments were subject to a perennial flux. They were replaced at a rate nothing short of absurd, and our forebears felt anxious about keeping up. And no one really thought about why this was, why they listened to the whispered dictations of a great unseen force. All the fabric they bought didn't make them less sad, as cotton mountains grew up from the landfills. How are we to identify with this dozing figure? A brutal foreman of the factory floor, or a subordinate? A foot soldier of the great unseen force? Or an organism trapped in its current? He feels like all of these things at once. Some latent tragedy hums in these walls. I can feel it. The implacable rebound of the natural order. They dye the rivers, cancer the oceans, belch in the face of benevolent gods. This place will not hold. I can feel it. The lick of flames, the cracks in the walls, the collapse of this pocket under the weight of it all. I think it's time we leave this place. We're now in a place they called Fort Laramie, nested within a place they called Wyoming. It seems quiet here, but after a while you can feel the murmur, the groan of a ravenous mouth. It scoured its tracks throughout the land, trails used by fur trappers, soldiers, prospectors. Into the moor disappeared the first people, the Cheyenne, Arapaho, Lakota Sioux. The mouth said this was God's plan, dominion over the land by the chosen men, pale conquistadors who yearned to get fat. The wild became farm, became factory plantation. Methane oozed out from lobotomized bison, carbon from trucks conveying doomed creatures, and everywhere began to warm up, and uncanny offshoots began to emerge. Walruses jumping off of cliffs, polar bears eating out of bins, the ocean eating entire countries. It seems quiet here, but if you listen closely, you can hear the foreshadowing ghosts.
My grandfather had been in very comfortable circumstances in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, but had become embarrassed through speculating. When he saw he would lose all his property, which was more than double the poverty
iron and plumbago have been found, and beds of gypsum of apparently inexhaustible extent. I referred in a former dispatch to the discovery.
Neither will not be contented, nor will he grow and prosper. I have asked some of the great white chiefs where they get their authority to say to the Indian that he should stay in one place while he sees white men going where they please. They cannot tell me. All men were made by the Great Spirit Chief. They are all brothers. The earth is the mother of all people, and all people should have equal rights upon it. You might as well expect all rivers to run backward as that any man who was born free.
I think it's time we leave this place.
I'm embarrassed through speculating.
What is this massive, unheated room? Our forebears' tribute to something greater. That seems to us something of a false paean, for they clearly thought nothing greater than them. This is just another incidental dogma, but it does, in fact, evince something greater. A malady our forebears never deigned to sort out. The preposterous belief they were above it all, that the planet wasn't actually keeping score, that it was a dense neighbor who'd not noticed their things being stolen. But the peaceable giant was indeed spurred. Now all that remains are these digital haunts that today we wander through and wonder at. Perhaps, like me, you feel a certain malaise, the resonance of a lost planet, but it is in fact a propitious radiation. Its darkness illuminates. Now we know how things should be. But nevertheless, I feel like Chief Joseph. My heart gets sick if I stay here too long. I think it's time we leave this place. There are no divisions in this world where we now stand. No threat of hegemony or subjugation. What a wonderful thing to renounce mastery. Not that anything ever really possessed it. I'm made of the same stuff as this river. The river is made of elder obanesta. I think it's time I said goodbye. You can stay here as long as you like. Just press L whenever you'd like to leave. I'm going to disappear for a little while. I'm now melting into the song of this place.